Hey everybody, I hope you're doing well. So when I started researching for this video, I just want to let you know I actually thought I might find that the asteroid timing in the Bible was different from what I originally thought, but instead I ended up finding more evidence that we are in a very high watch period for that event right now. So we're going to go over, in this video, I'm just going to go over some of this stuff that we've already talked about. And then we're going to find more biblical evidence that this asteroid impact is likely to happen at the end of a 1260 year period, starting a 1260 day period of war. Okay, so Revelation 8, it tells us a star falls to the earth. It calls that star wormwood. And then in Revelation 9, we're told that the star that falls to the earth creates a huge pit that darkens the sun and the air. So the cause of the sun and moon going dark in Matthew 24 is the asteroid. That's what Revelation 9 confirms for us. The asteroid causes the sun and the moon to go dark. And in Matthew 24, it says the sun and moon will go dark at the end of the tribulation. So that means the asteroid will hit at the end of the tribulation. And the tribulation period is 1260 days. We're told that in Revelation 12 and Daniel 12. So Matthew 24 talks about the Great Tribulation. That's what it's talking about when it says at the end of that tribulation, the sun and moon go dark. We know that's the asteroid. So the same wording that's used in Matthew 24:21 about the tribulation is repeated again in Daniel 12:1. It says there will be a time of tribulation such as never was since there was a nation even at that same time. So we're talking about the tribulation right here in Daniel 12. And then it says, how long shall it be to the end of these wonders? And it says it shall be for a time, times, and half a time. And what's the subject? The subject is the tribulation. So it's saying the tribulation will last for a time, times, and half a time. Well, if we go look at Revelation 12, it tells us that the woman escapes for 1260 days. That's in Revelation 12, verse 6. And then in verse 14, it says the woman escapes for a time, times, and half a time. So it's basically telling us that a time, times, and half a time is 1260 days. So in Daniel, it's saying that the tribulation is 1260 days. Okay. So we end up with a timeline that looks like this. And for the details on this chart, you can check out the videos on the 7 seals, the 7 trumpets, and also Hell Part 1 and 2, and they're linked below. So the biblical texts are telling us that the asteroid hits after a 1260 day period, which we know can also represent 1260 years. That's in Ezekiel 4:6. I've appointed thee each day for a year. So the days can also be years, so 1260 days or years. After 1260 days or years, the asteroid hits, and then there's a period of 5 months of nuclear torment after that. That's what the texts are telling us, and that's also in Revelation 9 right here. It's a period of 5 months after that asteroid impact. And we know that that asteroid impact occurs in one literal day, which the texts call the day of the Lord or the day of wrath. And the 7 trumpets and plagues represent that impact. So again, we go into detail on that in the links below this video. So we have a 1260 day or year period, then 1 day of asteroid impact, and then at least 5 months after that, maybe more. Okay, so the other clue we're given is that the woman escapes at the start of the 1260-day or year period. And the woman in Revelation 12, right here, the woman escapes for 1260 days. The woman is the bride. And we know that from comparing Revelation 12 with Revelation 7, Revelation 11, and Revelation 21. So the woman, it says, fled into the wilderness where she had a place prepared of God that they should feed her there 1260 days. And then in Revelation 7, we're told the great multitude of all tribes and nations will stand before the throne, which is in heaven. And the Lamb will feed them there. So the great multitude of all nations is being fed before the throne. And the woman is being fed in the safe place for 1260 days. So there's a connection right there. But then we're told in Revelation 11 that the multitude, by the way, this word is translated as Gentiles in the King James, but it means multitude. The multitude will walk the holy city for 42 months. Well, where is the holy city? It's in heaven. Right here, Revelation 21, the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down out of heaven, prepared as a bride. So the holy city is actually New Jerusalem coming out of heaven at the end. So the holy city is in heaven. So it says the multitude is walking the holy city. It's talking about the multitude is in heaven for 42 months, which we know is 1260 days. And the multitude cannot be measured. It says right here, but the court which is without the temple leave out and do not measure it, for it is given to the multitude. So don't measure the multitude, because then it also tells us in Revelation 11 that they're not just measuring the court, they're measuring the people too. So don't measure the multitude, it says. Well, what does it say right here in Revelation 11? A great multitude which no man could number of all nations. So we're talking about the same multitude right here. They can't be measured, and they're before the throne being fed by the Lamb, walking the holy city for 1260 days. So this multitude right here is the bride and also the woman in Revelation 12. Those are all our connections right there. So for more information on this, I have a video called Escape from the Serpent, and it goes into more detail about that. But basically, we're told the bride escapes at the start of the 1260 days, the 1260-day tribulation, and the asteroid impacts in one day at the end of that period, and then a 5-month period of torment follows after that. So we don't know how long of a period of time there is until the start of the 1,000-year reign, but we know there's at least 5 months after the asteroid impact. That's what the texts tell us. So again, for more information on this chart, you can check out the videos on the 7 seals, the 7 trumpets, Hell part 1 and 2, and also the escape from the serpent. They're all linked below, but this timeline is solid. This is what the biblical texts are telling us. Okay, but when we read Revelation 12 straight through, it seems contradictory, because if we take it to be chronological, it says first, right here, there will be a sign in heaven. So this word right here, wonder, it also means sign. So first, Revelation 12 tells us there's going to be a sign in heaven. And I have an in-depth video on this sign, also linked below, so we're not going to go into it here, but it's a celestial configuration between the constellation Virgo, the moon, the sun, and the planet Saturn that happens about every 500 years ago with some variance. So what we're going to do is we're going to chart Revelation 12 so we can clarify what it's saying here. So first it says this sign appears in heaven. So This is the first event. It's a celestial configuration that happens in heaven. The video that goes into detail about that, that's linked below, it's called Revelation 12, occurred in 2012. It's linked in the description below this video. So that's the first event, that sign. It's this sign, this celestial configuration in the sky. The next event is another sign in heaven, a great red dragon. So after this first sign, then another sign occurs. And then it says, the dragon cast the stars to the earth with its tail. So remember, this is a sign that it's talking about here, not a literal event. This is the sign. So this second sign right here is a great dragon who casts the stars to earth with its tail. So we talk about that in the video linked below. But basically, it's a meteor shower that comes from the constellation Draco, and it happens every year in October. It's called the Draconid meteor shower. And that Draconid meteor shower always occurs when this Revelation 12 sign occurs. We know that because it's describing the sun passing through the constellation Virgo, and that happens in September or October of every year. So that Draconid meteor shower that occurs every October always occurs whenever this Revelation 12 sign happens. So the signs always happen together. So that's what the dragon casting the stars to the earth before the woman is every time this celestial configuration occurs. So these are the first two events that happen in Revelation 12. It's these two signs, the Virgo configuration and the Draconid meteor shower that happens along with it. Okay, so the next event that happens is the woman flees into the wilderness. So that's the escape of the bride that we talk about in the video, Escape from the Serpent. It's linked below. And it says the woman stays in the wilderness for 1,260 days in the place God prepares for her. It says they will feed her there 1,203 score days, so 1,260 days. So this escape for 1,260 days comes after the first two signs. And again, we know days can also represent years from Ezekiel 4:6. So this 1,260 day period right here is actually a 1,260 day or year period, because it can be either one. Days can also be years. So after that, it says there was war in heaven. So the war in heaven, it says, is after the woman escapes. So it seems to be happening sometime during that 1,260 day or year period, although it doesn't specify exactly when it starts or how long it lasts. So we just kind of put it here without really knowing. Like I said, it doesn't say when it starts and it doesn't say how long it lasts. But it does tell us that the war ends when the dragon is cast to the earth. So this implies that the dragon is cast to the earth after the woman escapes. So far in the text, that's what it looks like it's saying. And we know that the dragon is cast out at the end of the war in heaven, because it says when the dragon is cast out, now has come salvation, now the heavens rejoice. So that implies that the dragon is cast to the earth when the war in heaven ends. So salvation occurs at that time. Rejoice, those of you that are in heaven and those that dwell in them. So when the dragon is cast to the earth, that's salvation. That's when the heavens rejoice. And And then it says, but woe to the inhabitants of the earth because the devil has come down to you. Okay, I'm going to have to stop this video and start part 2, and the link is below.